see at the other end? The ball was down there a lot.
Oh, it was, yeah. I mean, as far as clean sheets go, it's a pretty easy one. I think that speaks to kind of the 10 guys that were ahead of me on the field at any one point, and they worked incredibly hard, which made my life a lot easier, limiting them to kind of just some kind of floated balls into the box, and maybe just the one kind of semi-fast shot at the end, but I don't even think that counted as a shot. So, but then watching us down the other end, it's one of those days that very easily could have been 3-4-0, and we're producing the chances, and yeah, I think it's going to come. It feels good.
Was there frustration in here that the result wasn't what you guys wanted?
For sure. I think you'd say that's 2 weeks in a row where we probably could have deserved more points. In LA, probably deserved a point. Here, definitely deserved 3. But, you play like that week in, week out, you're going to win a lot more games than you lose. And, we're 2 games into a very long year. And I think that, personally and collectively, we're more excited about what's to come than any sort of apprehension or anything like that.
Talk a little about your communication with your defense. Obviously, it's not the first choice defense, but how has that been 2 games in?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we spoke about a little bit, that it's not just about kind of the 11 guys that you'd expect to be in the starting lineup every week. It's the depth and the kind of next man up mentality. And every day in training, no matter who's in that kind of starting group or 11-a-side drill or whatever we're doing, it's about preparing the way that you need to be preparing for that game at the weekend. And so while different faces, myself included, obviously, in that 11, the relationships don't really change because we work on it day in, day out, week in, week out. So there's no real kind of like lack of knowledge between characters. Everyone kind of knows how the other person works.
Did you see anything on the offensive side in terms of balls just not moving quickly enough or any of that, or is it just a matter of you're trying to hit a lot of balls through crowded balls?
No, I mean, I thought we cycled the ball pretty well, honestly. I think we'd be having a very different conversation if that ball goes bar down and in. Like, it's, Raul smokes one into the side netting too. Half the crowd thinks it's in the back of the net, and it very easily could have been. Jordan was getting into incredibly dangerous spots, making unselfish runs. Pedro was dangerous. Leo tore past their fullback. I can't kind of critique. It's also not my area of expertise. I'm standing down the other end of the field most of the time, but it felt like it was coming. It was like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes extra. We win that game.
Is that a Stuber shirt?
No, it's a Cleveland. It's a Cleveland. Yeah.
What did you make of the midfield 3 tonight of Obed, Josh, and Pedro?
Yeah, I liked that setup. I think Pedro was incredibly fluid and kind of did a little bit of what Nico used to do for us, and kind of getting into spots, getting deeper into the ball, getting a little bit across the field. And Josh and Obed are so composed. It's almost funny when you remember kind of how old both of them actually are, because they play so much, more senior than their years. Josh especially, I thought had a really good game. He's so easy to kind of just give the ball to. He comes and wants to get it. He's not afraid, nor is Obed. And the relationships between the two of them are pretty well set. I mean, they've played together for so long. So I thought they all had good games.